And so the experience of Way of the Samurai 4, you play as a samurai. It's around the era of European, Japanese culture clash.
Yes, it is. It's set basically around the time when Commodore Perry showed up and forced Japan's borders open, except it's not the most historically accurate game. It's the British are the ones who basically made first contact here, and they've all shown up, and they're very like the Japanese stereotype of the foreigner.
Of the stodgy foreigner.
Yeah, like your save points in the game are pretty much like really fancy British dudes with mustaches and top hats who want to take your picture. They're like, hey!
Save the game immediately.
Save the game.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god. The guy's so fancy.
Today is too very scary. Hold still unmoving.
Yeah, most of the foreigners in the game speak in broken Japanese in the original, or in just random English, and that was all translated to, broken English for effect, basically.
Excellent. So. We already saw some of that from your dapper photographer.
Yeah.
And before we got a little bit of a taste of just some freewheeling sword combat, do you dice up a lot of people in this game?
Yeah, it's very much sort of an open world sandbox game. There is a story, a pretty complex one with 10 different endings actually. Okay. It's basically faction based, where there's a group known as the Disciples of Prajna who greatly oppose the opening of Japan's borders. And then there's the Shogunate, who's sort of right in the middle. And of course, there are the foreigners who want to set up sort of a silk industry in Japan.
Yep.
And the three of them are sort of at odds with one another. And you can side with any of those three, and depending on your actions, different people live and die, different events occur, and you'll get one of 10 different endings that are very, very varied.
Cool. So now we're just engaging some random other samurai in assault.
Yeah, you can also be a jerk in this game and just engage random people on the street. My favorite are the foreign noblewomen with their parasols. You can drop kick them and their parasols will fly away, and then you can just slice them up and they'll be all scared.
Like any true open world game.
Yeah.
So am I not mistaken, or did the sword we were slashing with just break?
Yes, weapons are breakable in this game, but that's fine because just about everyone you fights with a sword and will drop it when killed, and so you'll get a new sword. You can also repair swords. You can also craft your own sword.
Or you could just punch someone relentlessly in the groin.
Yeah, there's that too. You do have martial arts moves that you can do.
Very cool.
You can actually create your own move set. You can fight with different types of weapons too. You can get pole arms or lances. Later in the game, you can actually unlock guns too, because the foreigners, they brought their guns.
They're bringing the guns. It's a new era.
Yeah. So speaking of customization, users are wondering, will your character look like this, or is this something that one of the players decided to come up with?
This is actually the default outfit for the character that you start the game with, but you have a wide variety of outfits that you can do, that you can unlock or buy, wide variety of facial types. You can even be a female samurai, though you will still be regarded as male, which is kind of funny actually. Yeah, you also can buy a bunch of accessories which you can position on your body and upscale or downscale, so you can change the size of them, where they are, etc. You can actually buy a water bottle and wear it as a suit if you want.
If you want to go for
it's
the Japanese Flava Flav look, you can get that going.
Some screenshots we've seen of the game have people basically creating Doraemon and just running around as Doraemon. So I mean, there's some crazy stuff you can do with the customization in this game. It's really a pretty over-the-top game. It plays everything with a very straight face, but it's totally goofy and totally over the top. This would be the sort of game that I think if you played it while drunk, you'd be like, dude, that is the best thing ever. I mean, it is such a weird game sometimes with some crazy, just wrong things.
Weirdness can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, when you say wrong things, you're talking about more than just drop kicking a woman with a nice hat and slicing her to bits.
Yeah, you can also hit on women in the game, and if you manage to successfully woo them, they will wait for you at a night crawling location that night.
Night crawling?
Yes, it's basically a house.
That sounds romantic.
Yeah, basically you show up there and then you walk around kind of slouched over in the dark. There are other rivals trying to get all the women, and you can like karate chop them in the back of the head and knock them to the floor. And then you can go around and basically you have this little turtle meter on the screen that glows when you get near your target, quote unquote, and then you can just pull back the covers and go at it.
And then you have a night crawl.
Yeah, and when you're actually doing the night crawling too, your goal is basically to chase the girl around and sort of like pick her up and throw her down on the bed and like knock her clothes off too.
So real world romance tips from
it's very it's almost like caveman primal like romance.
It's absurd
going on.
And sounds pretty funny actually.
It's pretty good stuff. I see Brittany here has changed the outfit of the samurai to something a bit more fashionable. And I love this dude here with the pipe and the chef's hat and boxing gloves.
He's just making sure everything in the kitchen stays.
He is an awesome bodyguard right there. And when you kill him, he drops an egg. I'm not sure where he was keeping it, but it's pretty consistent.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to see some egg shortly.
Yeah, but perhaps.
Providing that he's got his pipe in the whole time.
It's dangerous to fight with a pipe in your mouth.
Yeah, it totally is.
It's okay. He's got safety boxing gloves on, Tom. He'll be fine. It's okay.
But yeah, it's got some pretty crazy stuff. The story is actually pretty good. It's kind of deep, except with goofiness, sort of washing over the deepness a little bit. So
goofiness washing over deepness.
Yeah, it's.
So it seems like it'd be a pretty lengthy adventure. It seems like a lot is going on.
Yeah, I mean, just to get one of the endings, you can do that in like 2 to 4 hours, but that depends on which ending you're getting. Like there are some that you can get really easily, and then some require beating the game numerous times, doing numerous things. Just in general, like some of them are much harder to get than others, and total playtime, I'd say you can easily kill 20 to 30 hours on this just getting all of the endings, and then there's so much extra you can do. There are like hundreds upon hundreds of swords. You can build your own swords, create your own styles, try to woo as many women as possible. And also the game is very much uncensored. Like we did get an M rating from the SRB for this. It has numerous things in it that are kind of interesting. Some
you kind of described
dialogue.
one earlier with that whole bizarre night crawling scene, which
but there's also
chilling.
There's also torture in this game. It's basically if you get caught by one of the constables breaking the law, like here you're basically breaking some dude's jars and
Vandal.
things. And yeah, the constable should be on his way, I think.
You get
steal
tortured for breaking bottles?
You get tortured for very random things. You can kill random people, pick fights with constables, or break bottles. It seems like there's nobody witnessing that crime this time around, though, which is unfortunate.
Crime. So, are the constable? When you say constable, I'm picturing a goofy, British man with a bell-shaped hat.
This is actually samurai constables. Yeah, and. When you go to the torture chamber, there are 3 different types of torture. There's one where you're basically suspended, mostly naked, above a pommel horse that's on fire with a woman whipping you. There's another where you're tied to a water wheel and your head keeps going under the water. And there's one where basically they keep trying to crush you with rocks.
So like ripped from the headlines.
And if you manage to survive for a minute of any of these forms of torture, you pretty much get to walk away scot-free, just like in real life.
They're like, okay, you paid your dues.
You paid your penance. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this mistress, no, she's only open at night. Okay, Lord, we know where that will lead eventually. Tom, Way of the Samurai 4, you guys, Xseed bringing it out. Coming soon? When can folks get their hands on it?
We don't know an exact date yet, but it will definitely be sometime this summer.
This summer?
And it will be a digital download on PlayStation Store for the PlayStation 3.
Great. Well, cool. Thanks for coming by, showing off Way of the Samurai 4. Much appreciated.